He's the classic wolf in sheep's hair gel.
Greg is on the attack. He's not even looking for applause, and you can feel the sting. The governor who spent years brushing off California's spiraling homeless crisis is suddenly being called out for it, and Greg isn't pulling a single punch.
California Governor Gavin Newsom is now calling his city's homeless encampments unacceptable, which is odd since he's the guy who, made them acceptable, turning sidewalks into red carpet events for drug addicts, thieves, and unemployed CNN anchors.
From the very start, Greg takes his time. Each line comes out slow, deliberate, stretched just long enough to sting. He's mocking, dragging out every word so the hypocrisy he's calling out hangs in the air. The audience reacts instantly, half laughter, half shocked gasps. It's that perfect mix where no one's quite sure if they should be amused or horrified. Greg isn't joking anymore. This doesn't sound like a punchline, it feels like an indictment. A trial happening live, and Newsom's reputation is on the stand.
On Monday, he urged cities to ban the camps from sidewalks, parks, and other public areas. So after years of denying the problem, he's now pretending to fix it, which is like putting on a condom as you're leaving a whorehouse.
Then comes the hit. Greg leans forward, drops his voice low, and fires off the line about Newsom's cleanup efforts being like putting on a condom as you're leaving a whorehouse. The room breaks. Some people laugh, some wince, but everybody knows the damage is done. Newsom's image, that polished, untouchable veneer, feels ripped open in seconds.
It's all bull. A costume, a political drag show, and the kids this drag queen is reading to are the gullible voters.
Greg doesn't let up. He's grinning now, but it's the kind of grin you get before a knockout punch. The line hangs in the air like smoke. The crowd laughs a little stunned as he twists the image further. The kids at this drag queen story hour aren't kids at all, but the gullible voters buying the act.
He's the classic wolf in sheep's hair gel.
Then comes the kill shot. He's the classic wolf in sheep's hair gel. Greg pauses just long enough for it to sting. The studio breaks with laughter, groans, a few claps. He's not just talking about politics anymore. He's framing Newsom as a slick con man with good lighting and bad intentions. By the time the moment's over, it doesn't feel like a joke. It feels like Greg just tore the mask off in front of everyone.
See, Newsom wasn't just ignoring the problem, he enabled it because Dems were in a woke crouch, terrified of their loony base.
Greg circles back, and now he's painting Newsom like a stage actor caught mid-costume change. The crowd is dead still, waiting for where he's taking this.
But now that he's seeing the White House, he's got a brand new act, a common-sense centrist. Just a soccer dad in khakis, fed up with crime and chaos.
Then Greg twists the knife. Suddenly, Newsom's running a new routine. Not the progressive golden boy, but a common-sense centrist. The guy next door, soccer dad in khakis, fed up with crime and chaos. Greg sells it like a con, holding up the governor's fresh image as proof of how calculated the whole thing is. It's not a policy shift, Greg's saying. It's a costume change for the White House run. By the end of the riff, the audience isn't just laughing anymore. They're seeing the act. Greg isn't finished yet. He slows down, shifts gears, but that razor-edged tone stays locked in. Now he's drilling straight into Newsom's favorite excuse, climate change.
It's like the wildfires. Gavin blames climate change when it was his corrupt bureaucracy. Since the Palisades fire, which destroyed 6,000 buildings, only 4 permits have been issued for rebuilding. Did climate change cause that? Hell no.
He's not mocking science. He's exposing how the governor uses it like a shield, a one-size-fits-all excuse for every crisis his administration has failed to handle. It lands like a gut punch, and you can feel the room lean in. The audience knows what's coming.
So like the fires, Newsom let homelessness run wild. He allowed tens of billions of dollars to be swallowed up by a maze of consultants, nonprofits, and bureaucrats who created poop mats.
Then comes the kicker. Greg points out how residents who complain get branded as cruel or selfish, how their frustration is written off as ignorance or hate. And now, after years of spin and broken promises, they're supposed to believe Gavin? Hell no. He doesn't even raise his voice for it. He doesn't need to. The power comes from the way he says it. Measured, confident, surgical.
Hell no. All the problems of the last decade were based on his and his party's lies.
By the end of the segment, the picture is clear. The governor's decade of policies isn't framed as a noble effort gone wrong, but as a deliberate string of lies, disasters, and distractions. Greg has turned what could have been a debate into something far more devastating. No shouting, no theatrics, just cold facts, and a tone that cuts deeper than yelling ever could. When the camera fades out, there's no applause line, no flashy closer. Just the echo of everything Greg laid out, leaving no doubt where the blame belongs and who just lost control of the narrative.
But as always, when a far-left Dem runs for national office, he acts like a Republican. This is where the left is really pro-trans.
Greg pivots, eyes narrowing, and the tone shifts from playful to lethal. He's drawing a bigger picture now. Not just Newsom, but the whole playbook, each word snapping like a jab. The line lands heavy, a few gasps, a few laughs, and the rest just stunned at how brazen Greg's being.
So Newsom is fed up with tent cities, the crime, the urban decay? No, he's not mad about that stuff. He's mad you noticed. It's like a criminal telling a jury he's sorry he robbed 25 banks when he's just sorry he got caught on the 26th.
He paints Newsom as fed up, not with the tent cities, crime, or urban decay, but with the fact people finally noticed. The governor's anger, Greg suggests, isn't moral, it's vanity. The crowd shifts. They're in the story now. And just when it feels like Greg might ease up, he compares the whole crisis to a man-made disaster. The punchline detonates. The audience erupts. In seconds, Greg has turned Newsom's carefully polished image into a disaster zone. And Newsom is the person held responsible for it. Greg throws it back to one of his show's running gags, Newsom's hand movements. The studio perks up, already remembering the clip. He rolls it and the audience cracks up.
And if you've been watching this show, and I know you have, you know we were the first to call out Gavin's bizarre hand movements. Remember this classic?
Even Trump, Greg reminds everyone, couldn't help but notice.
Gavin, I know him very well. He's incompetent. He's a nice guy, looks good. Hi, everybody, how you doing? He's got some strange hand action going. I don't know what the hell his problem is. It's a little weird, to be honest. There's a little something shaky going on there.
Greg lets the words hang there, smiling as the room buzzes. He doesn't even have to comment, just playing it back is enough to make Newsom look ridiculous. It's a small moment, but in the middle of Greg's takedown, it feels like another jab that lands perfectly. If you don't want to miss the updates, hit that subscribe button, drop a comment with your thoughts, and stay tuned for the next video.